What is your estate agent's best kept secret? Today, I'm joined by Ben Marley, who's a thought leader in the estate agency profession, and he's here to talk about what he considers is the best kept secret that estate agents have, which is, wait for it, their service. What do you mean by that? Talk to me.
So for a long time, I've been having conversations with estate agents, and one of the things that I'm always really keen for them to tell me and to find out about their business is their differentiators. Tell me, Mr. Customer, tell me, Mr. Agent, what would you say is that separates you from the other agents in your town?
Can I have a guess what they say?
It's normally only two, but go on.
We're professional.
You're in the right arena.
Okay, go on then.
So our service
Service, yeah.
and our staff.
Right, yeah, yeah, okay. And we're professional, local, and lots of communication.
My favourite line that has been thrown at me quite a few times is, "We're different here because we're real people."
So everyone else, they have like robots today, or
I mean, I don't really know what they mean by that, but it's been banded around to me quite a few times. We're different because we're real people here. I'm like, right, okay. So
I'm thinking of an advert there, basically with a cat like that, saying it, keeping it real.
yeah,
Estate agents.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, everyone's on the AI bandwagon at the moment. Maybe they're thinking that people are deep fakes on videos or something now. But I think when they're trying to say that, what they pride themselves on is how they speak to their customers, what their communication is like, that their staff are all well trained, everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. That's what people are trying to convey. But if I went down the high street today and asked 10 estate agents that same question, probably going to get 10 similar answers. So if I actually say to you, what is your differentiator? And you say, it's how good we are at our job, it's how good we are at communicating, how good our staff are with following up with you, etc. Brilliant. How would I know that? How would I know that? Because every agent will tell me the same thing.
Well, surely what your customers say will show me how I do that, won't they?
It's better to get it from the customer telling you how good it was than it was how good you say you are. It's a bit like when you go on holiday, right? When you book a holiday,
I won't do anything unless I go on TripAdvisor.
the every online every online travel agent, all of the booking websites will always give you the highlights. Always say, great pool here, swim up bars,
Yeah,
etc.
they got the stars and they clip out the one-liners. Yeah, I love that. I will make my decision on a holiday through that. But hold on a second. Estate agents don't do that, do they? Well, not many do.
Some do, the majority don't. So if you're a high street estate
Yeah, but I get
agent,
recommendations, Ben. I get all my business through recommendations. That's not
so
the same, is it? Because you're waiting for someone to be in the right place at the right time to recommend to their mate who might just happen to be selling their house. It doesn't work, does it?
not really. And I think as well, if you're a high street agent and you've been in the town for 20 years and you've got 16 reviews on Google, probably doesn't portray the best.
No.
What do I say? Best experience. That doesn't portray the best example as to how many happy customers have passed through your doors over that period of time. Why not? Don't just assume that everyone knows who you are. Don't just assume that everyone knows how good you are. And actually, do you know what? You might be a really good agent.
But if you don't tell people, more importantly, don't get your customers to
Tell people.
then it's the world's best kept secret, which is what comes down to the original question: is the service is your best kept secret?
That is often a question that I end up asking people when I'm talking to them about their online reputation. Oh, we don't do that. We're too busy. Are you too busy, or do you just choose to ignore it because you think it's easier to ignore it than actually trying to do something about it and change the way that you
I
have
mean,
been doing things?
you are in the review space for estate agencies. Do you genuinely feel that you must talk to an awful lot because I know you were previously involved with the Esters, so you've got to talk to hundreds of estate agents every year. Why are people just putting their head in the sand when they go and buy a car or a holiday with all the other stuff? Why do they not relate to them?
It's easier to ignore it because it's easier to ignore it. It's easier to assume that everyone knows who you are, how good you are, because you've been in the town for 30
Yeah, but just
years,
because I know you don't mean I'm going to choose you.
which is where the challenge comes from. But the reason why they don't do it is because it's easier to carry on as you were and ignore it
Keeping
than
the
trying
status
to
quo.
acknowledge it and go, actually, do you know what? We probably need to do something about it.
Okay, so without turning this into a sales pitch, which again, I'm not happy about doing, but is it really a case of saying, right, we need to get the reviews and then we need to get them out in front of as many people as possible? Is it as simple as that?
It look, as cliche as this is, right? The best day to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best day is today. If you're not doing it, just start doing it, because the sooner that you do it, it means that the gap between the other agents in your town and you is going to shrink.
And if you're at 50 reviews and they're on 2 or 3, you're going to look really good, aren't you? When you do a Google review and that estate agents near me, and there's you at 50 stars and other agents are at 2, and they're like 2 stars because they're crap.
Who would you rather? Where would you rather go to a restaurant? You know,
I check out. I would always holidays TripAdvisor. And if doing it, I'll look at Google reviews. I'll look
yeah.
at Trustpilot. Yeah, I find it fascinating that we don't make the connections with our own. But there you go. There's nothing queer as folk, is there?
I think as well, like the fact that you've obviously mentioned holidays, right? Holidays can cost you a few grand, several thousands of pounds, depending on where you're going, what you're doing. A house is several £100,000. If a house is several £100,000, why would someone want to entrust your biggest asset? You wouldn't gamble £500,000 property on something with low reviews versus a holiday that you're going to spend a few grand. If you get it wrong, you're going to have a shit time. But guess what? It's not the end of the world. This is catastrophic.
So what you're saying to estate agents is, if there's one thing you're going to do and you haven't started, start getting reviews and then start pumping them out there.
100%.
Thank you for your time today, Ben.